Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. It is me, Desiree. I join you here a little unfinished because I have a few products I wanted to talk about from Dior. I had a couple of items. I had the Backstage Glow Face Palette that I love. This is like my little baby. And then I ended up purchasing one of their blushes and absolutely loving it. I did purchase a couple of other things and I'm just going to put them all on for you, share with you my experience and all that. I have the contour palette, I have an eye palette that I'm going to use, and I also have their new it's called Powder No Powder. It's amazing. I also got the setting spray, and I'm just going to put them all on for you, share with you my thoughts and all that kind of stuff. This is a brand, so Dior has like a couple different lines in their makeup. The one that I have really been loving is the Backstage line. I feel like it's very reasonably priced for what it is and for the brand as well, and also really high quality. Like, they didn't just lessen the quality or water it down to make it a more affordable price. It's still really good, and I absolutely love it. And then they have like their other things where they have that cushion foundation that's like $80. But they also have the Backstage foundation that's I think like $35 or something. So they have a couple different lines. I've been really liking the Backstage one. Let's put all the stuff on, shall we? So I actually have this little tiny primer as well, the Backstage Face and Body Primer. I don't like this at all. I've had this for a little while, and I was trying it out again recently with these other items. I don't know what it is about this, but it makes any foundation I put on top of it like gather and pill and just look really weird. So this one's just not for me, but let's put on all the other stuff. Starting with this. This is the Backstage Face and Body Powder No Powder, and I have the shade 2N. This is a new release from them. This is what it looks like here. This is supposedly, I actually screenshotted from the brand's website just to read to you what it is. I didn't realize it was like a powder foundation or people are using it like that. I thought it was just like a setting powder. And it does look dark, but the color is so light that it hardly shows up at all on me anyway. But it says here, the Powder No Powder helps create an even, naturally matte and luminous complexion. I know that sounds weird, but that's exactly what it does. Like, it mattifies and luminizes your face. It's so weird. Without a powdery finish that lasts all day long, instantly the skin appears perfected, imperfections are blurred, shine is reduced, the complexion is naturally more even, and skin texture is smooth. You can wear this alone or on top of foundation to mattify, blur imperfections, and set makeup, or create a sun-kissed effect depending on the intensity and the chosen shade. I did want to buy another one. I have it in like my loves list on Sephora, like a darker one to try to use as a contour or like a bronzer. I don't know if I'm gonna do that because I really just love this one so much. So at first when I got this, I thought it was doing nothing. And I was getting it and I was like, this isn't even picking up on a brush. And I was putting it all over my face and I was like, this does nothing, I'm gonna return it. And then magically, it worked and it looks amazing. I don't know what it is about this powder. They also say it's a gel infused powder. So there is no kick up at all, like no powdery dustiness, nothing's gonna go airborne. It's so strange. And also really lightweight. It has like a tiny bit of coverage, but it's not enough for me that I would say it's a powder foundation. If it is a foundation, it's light, like light coverage, you know. But anyway, I thought this was doing nothing, and then magically it did something, and now I'm like really into it. I do have on foundation and concealer already. I'll list it down below in case you want to know what it is. But let me zoom in a little bit so you can see. And I'm just gonna do this thing here, and I'm just gonna put it all over my face. If you are someone that does not like powder but you want some setting, I think you would like this. I also feel like it does set your makeup, but it doesn't change it too much. So if you had something really dewy and luminous on and you put powder on top, it's not gonna mattify, but it sets it and also keeps it looking dewy. It's so weird. I don't know what it is about it. I really like it. Who knows? There's some magic in this powder. And I feel like no matter how much you build up, it doesn't look powdery and it doesn't look like anything. Like anything on your skin. It's so weird. I know I keep saying it's so weird, but it is. Like, I can't describe why I really like this so much. Like, is there even a difference from when I started the video to now? No idea. but I love it. I just love this extra little, like, it adds like a filter onto your face somehow. I don't know what it is. I love it. I absolutely love this powder. It's not powdery at all, but it's amazing. Like, I feel like my face looks like it has a filter on it right now, and it's set, but it doesn't look powdery. This is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Like, this is great. I love this so much. I think there's like 10 or 12 shades. Hopefully they bring out more, but as you saw, even though this color looks dark, you can't see it on my face. Like, it's not like adding color to my face at all. So I think that's why they didn't do a ton of shades. Next, I love that. Like, I can't get over it. Next up is the contour palette. It's just called contour palette, and it comes with 2 highlighters and 2 contours. These are the contours, those are the highlighters. I tend to just dip this whole thing like this, like just dipping in all the pans and then put it on. These 2 here are shimmery, like they actually are highlighters. But I find that when I mix them all together, it doesn't look glittery on my face. It just looks like a sun-kissed, like a glowy bronzer. But the colors in here are more contour-y than bronzer-y, because in bronzers, I prefer something like orange or red tone, but these are definitely like, you know, contour shades. So I'm just gonna dip in these 2 like this, more in this one here, a little there, and then I just kind of go around. And we're just gonna put it on. This is a palette as well that I didn't really like at first, and I think it's because I just couldn't find, I don't know, the brush to fit like a brush, because I usually like a bigger brush. But this one here, the Jaclyn Hill Morphe JH06, I cannot put this brush down. I can't. Now that I finally found a use for it, it's like my favorite little brush. And I love it for bronzer so much. And I think it fits this palette perfectly. These powders do have a scent. I can't put my finger on it, and it's not very strong. It's just something, like when you put it on, you're like, what's that? I don't know, it's really weird, but yeah, there's a tiny, tiny bit of scent in there. As well as the, oh no, you know what it is I'm smelling? It's this. The Powder No Powder has a fragrance. It's very, very light. You have to like practically touch it with your nose like I just did to smell it. But it's there, like it's something, but it's not distracting. It's just like a little something, I don't know. But I don't think, even if you are sensitive to fragrances, I don't think it's gonna bother you. It's really, really light. So there's the bronzer on. I do use it like as a bronzer, of course. And I think adding those little highlighter shades definitely makes it a little more glowy. I think it's so pretty. And I have used this as eyeshadow as well, because that's what I was doing at first. That's usually what I tend to do with contour palettes or bronzer palettes that have a lot of shades in there that aren't going to work for me. I'll use them as eyeshadows. And this works great, especially because it has those 2 highlighter colors there. I know the sun is really bright, but hopefully you can see the sun-kissed glow I just gave myself. I really, really like this. And I think it looks really natural as well. It's pigmented, but not over the top. And I really, really like it. I think they only have one, oh no, maybe they have different shades. I have the one here that says Universal, 001 Universal. And I think it works pretty good for my skin tone. Next up is highlighter. That's this, oh, my little pride and joy here, the Backstage Glow Face Palette in the shade Universal. I love this thing so much, and for some reason I misplaced it for a time and I couldn't find it, and I about died. I was like, where's my palette? With the blush I'm gonna wear, I think I might do this one here. These are highlighters, but they're not sparkly, but they are. It's so weird. I think I want to zoom in for this so you can kind of see how the highlight goes on. They're sparkly, but they're not over the top. I think they're just so, so pretty and so glowy. Can you see it? Perfect. Like it's there, it's highlighted, you look highlighted, but you don't look over the top. I just love it so much. I did try another one in the shade Rose Gold. Did not like it at all. It was so glittery, like actual glitter chunks were in it. Didn't like it. This one I absolutely love. So far the Powder No Powder is a home run. I love this thing. The contour palette I really, really like, and I've been enjoying using it. I've been wearing it every day. but I don't think it's necessary, especially because they put 2 highlight shades in here. You also have to get kind of a smaller brush, but I do really like it, but I don't think it's like, you know, the essential item out of the line. What am I saying? This though, absolutely love. I feel like a lot of skin tones would be able to use that as well. So for blush, I have the Rosy Glow Color Awakening Universal Blush in the shade Pink. This was one that I was so grossed out by. Like, look at this color, and it swatches horrible. It swatches so dusty, chalky white pink. It doesn't swatch amazing. Like, there's a tiny, tiny, tiny swatch right there. This kind of stuff, I don't like to rub my finger in there because I feel like I'm gonna give it hard pen. You can hardly see it. But anyway, it swatches terrible, and it looks gross on your, when you swatch it, it looks chalky white pink, but somehow on your face, it magically is amazing, and it's beautiful, and I love it so much that I went and bought the other one. So this is the shade called Coral. It's the exact same thing. It's the Color Awakening Rosy Glow Blush. Rosy Glow Color Awakening Universal Blush, Natural Healthy Glow. I got the shade Coral. This one I haven't used yet, but I thought I would wear it today because why not? These ones also have a little bit of a scent, like a little tiny, tiny, tiny hint of rose. Like, it's barely there. But these compacts are so cute. I absolutely love these. Anyway, this one, home run. Home run right there. Let's hope the Coral one is also just as nice. And these blushes, like this, the pink one anyway, is just, and this one, kind of the same. They're so lightly pigmented, but in a perfect way. Like, they're not lightly pigmented where you're like, ugh, I'm not getting any color. They're perfectly pigmented where it's buildable, but it starts off really natural and light. Like, look what I just did to my cheeks. I think it looks so pretty. Oh my gosh, I love it. I've only used it one time, and I love it. I was gonna do 2 separate cheeks, like I was gonna put this one here and this one here, but I'm going somewhere today and I don't wanna have 2 different blushes on that are 2 drastically different colors. But I think I'm gonna do a separate video with these, talking about them and all that kind of stuff, and trying to find some duplicates. I have tried so hard in my own collection to find a copycat of this, and I cannot. It's in a league all its own. It's so beautiful. The closest thing I got was, what the heck's the name of the shade, but it's a pink something from Revlon. It was very, very close, a very cool toned kind of color like this, but not identical. But I think I might feature these separately and try both of them on, but so far, this one, home run. This one, first time I used it today, but I love it. All right, now for the eye palette. I got the one here in the shade Amber Neutral. So this is what it looks like. And it's a powder palette, but it comes with a little cream primer. And I did put that primer on today. This is the first time I'm using the primer. I keep forgetting that the primer's in here, and I put my own primer on, and then when I open up the palette, I'm like, oh crap, I forgot to use that primer. But anyway, I did use it today. We'll see how it goes. It felt fine. It doesn't feel tacky at all. It felt more like it was a very, very lightweight cream eyeshadow. It didn't dry down powdery, but it feels like maybe like it gave my eyelids just enough for them to cling onto, but not enough to make it powdery. Anyway. It looks like an all shimmer palette, and all the shades that I've used, even though they look matte, like I thought this one was matte, it's shimmery. And all of them do have a little bit of sheen to them, but not in a metallic way. Yeah, so far so good. I've only used this I think 2 or 3 times. I haven't used all the shades yet, but I haven't used this really dark one here. But I think I'm gonna do something, we'll see what I do. But so far so good with this palette. Is this an essential? That's the word I was thinking of. Or did I say that with the contour palette? Is it an essential? I don't know. But if you wanted to try it, you know, it's there. But I don't know if it's like the essential thing of the line. What am I saying? Let's just go to this one. I'm gonna do this one, maybe this on the outer corner, something on the lid, you know. These don't have a mirror, of course, they're clear packaging, so I'm gonna grab a separate one. I love the clear packaging, by the way. I absolutely love it. Oh, I feel like that primer creased a little bit. Not too bad. I feel like most primers do tend to crease if you put too much on. I am loving this blush so much. I love the blush, and I love that powder no powder. I swear my face looks filtered. Like, it looks so weird. I love it. Love it. And every single day when I put it on, I have the same reaction. I'm like, this powder, What is it doing? It's like filtering your face. I absolutely love it. And these colors too, they're pigmented, but they're not over the top. They're very user-friendly, and all the shades that I've used blend really well into all the other shades. Like they all look, like it's a really nicely curated little palette, and all the shades go well together. Yeah, what am I saying? And they all blend well. They're all very user-friendly. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see. I don't know if you could see the shimmer that's on there, but it's a little shimmery. Let's do a little bit more. If you're afraid of putting shimmers in your crease, don't be. It's amazing. Especially if you're using a nice formula like this one, it's not gonna accentuate anything. I swear, like putting shimmers in your crease, especially if it's a nice one, they kind of, I don't know, they work with your skin, not against it. Like they're not gonna emphasize anything. I don't know what it is. If you're not putting shimmers in your crease, you're missing out, I think. I feel like I put on too much bronzer right there. Okay. Anyway, I don't think zooming in is gonna do a whole lot for you. But let's do a little bit of maybe this red one here on the outer corner. Very pigmented. I kind of wish they had a mirror because I'm really like keep instinctually wanting to hold it up to my eye so I can see, but it's fine. Usually I only really want that for a video. Like it doesn't, in my daily life when I'm putting makeup on every day, I'm not grabbing the palette and using it as a mirror. I have my own mirror. But for videos, I'm always instinctually wanting to grab the palette and use it as a mirror. Anyway, just gonna do a little red on the outer corner. I don't have a Dior mascara, so I'm not gonna put one on in the video either. But I do have the setting spray. I'm just gonna do something like that, really easy. I just kind of wanted the lid to be really light, and I wanted the red on the outer corner. I don't know why, just thought it would look kind of cool. I might do a little more up here. I'm gonna do that darker one on the middle row, deepen it out a little bit. That's too much. Oh my gosh, that is too much. I tend to put on eye makeup like this, and then when I relax my face, it all disappears. You know, when you have hooded eyelids or a lot of eyelid skin, you gotta kind of put eyeshadow where you wouldn't normally in order to see it. But that's it. That's all I'm gonna do right there. I'm gonna do mascara, of course, off camera because I don't have a Dior one to share with you. I was trying to remember the name of the one I used in the past that I really loved, and I can't remember it. But I'm gonna do the setting spray. This is the Forever Perfect Fix Long Wear Fresh Setting Mist. I've only used this once so far, and I thought it was good as a spray. I don't like the packaging too much. It's plastic, which is fine, but the sprayer you have to push kind of hard, and when you press it, your hand will like slip like this, and it's kind of annoying. But we're gonna spray it on anyway. Like, I don't like having to hold it like that. It also has a very strong fragrance. I know, how bougie. It has a strong perfumey kind of, I can't put my finger on it, scent, but it's strong, but it disappears very quickly once it dries. I think this is nice. I've only used it a couple times, like I said, and today it wears well. It makes my makeup, I feel like, last a little longer under a mask and everything. I'll have to keep using it, of course, and report back on it later, but I thought I would feature it because I did pick it up. But yeah, that is it. That is my full face kind of Dior and all the products that I've had. And what I love. The standouts of the collection for me are definitely the powder and the face palette. Everything, and the blushes. Oh, I can't forget the little blushes. The eye palette, although good, I think you probably have stuff you already like, as well as this. They're both really good. I don't think you'd be disappointed if you picked them up. But, like I said, they're the non-essentials of the collection. This stuff, though, I love. So yeah, that is it. Let me know any of the Dior products you have tried. Let me know what you think. Have you tried those blushes? They're blowing my mind. And I'll see you later in another video. Goodbye.